Thank you so much, Raina. Now, in the state legislature, all 150 Texas House seats and all 31 Texas Senate seats are up for grabs. We want to go to Augustine Garfias now, who will be watching those races for us tonight. Augustine, new political maps could have a big impact.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. For example, of the 31 Texas Senate seats, 16 Republican incumbents were drawn into safe districts for re-election. 2 new Senate seats vacated by Republicans will most likely go to new Republican candidates, and that's simply based on the percentage of voters in those districts who voted for either Trump or Biden in 2020. Now, looking at redistricting overall, it's making the stakes higher tonight for state legislative races. The general election will be less competitive. We're following a lot here. We're talking about more than 180 races times 2 because Republican primary and Democratic primary, right? So we're going to keep an eye on the competitive primaries tonight. No results to show you just yet, but we're going to keep an eye on what we're monitoring, and we'll bring you any stories that may pop up along the way. We'll go ahead and send it back to you, Nicole.
All right, thanks, Augustine. We've also been monitoring voting issues at the polls, especially with new stricter voting laws in place. Here is a live look at vote counting in Dallas County. We will be showing you live feeds of vote counting across the state throughout the night. Right now, though, we want to go to Brian Scott in Dallas. Brian, I understand Tarrant County was missing some poll workers earlier today. Did that create problems?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest snafu we've heard about today is, some poll workers not showing up in Tarrant County. However, election officials told Commissioner's Court today that got moved through fairly quick. They got that issue fixed up and everyone voting fairly quickly out there. Over here in Dallas County, we're in Capel right now, and they just worked through the line at this polling site. So things seem to have come to a very, quiet close out here as well. It seems like overall day of voting was just the normal little voting snafus you see on a voting day, but not so much. The bigger concern that we've been seeing throughout this whole election are the mail-in ballots, where there is a lot of concern, especially with the new voting laws in place. We've reported that several counties, including Dallas County, where we're at right now, had larger than normal amounts of mail-in ballots get rejected because of confusions with the voting ID requirements under the new Texas voting laws. That's troubling in the small election we're in, obviously, but it's even more troubling if those issues aren't figured out by November, when we're in a much, much bigger election. That has, however, inspired a lot of people here in the local area and throughout the state to take more action, including a new group we met up with this weekend here in Dallas called Texans Taking Action. They're a nonpartisan canvassing group that's going to apartments and minority areas of the city to try to get people who don't normally vote out to the polls to vote. They say that's more important than ever right now, to just get as many people as possible voting as they can.
It's important for people's voice to be heard, especially here in Texas, where a lot of people are having their, rights attacked.
Yeah, okay, so now we're at the point where we're watching the votes being tallied kind of throughout the DFW area here and throughout the state. We're continuing to watch to see if any more hiccups do come up or anything that does need to get addressed here in the coming days does come up. We're going to be watching that very closely tonight, and we'll bring you anything we find. For now, back to you, Nicole.
All right, Brian, thanks so much for that. Now we want to go to Dylan Scott. He is in Austin. Dylan, any issues at polling locations there?
Good evening. We are on the east side of Austin, where, as you can see, the polls now have officially closed. Travis County did not report any major issues at their dozens of polls across central Texas. So that was some good news from them. Now, we have to mention, though, of course, that there is a new wrinkle in the process to pay attention to. As part of a new voter bill passed last year in Texas, communities of more than 100,000 people, including, of course, Travis County, have set up live streams where you can count the votes and be viewed on them as well. We asked several voters today if they even knew of this new provision, if they thought it was worth the investment as well. Here in the capital city, there were, of course, mixed thoughts on this new idea. Some saying it adds maybe legitimacy to the process, while others think it could be a bit too much.
I heard a little bit about it, so I didn't think about it that much, but if you really consider it, It just seems to me to be an invasion of privacy and something that can be used to scare people away from the polls.
I guess maybe at first glance, maybe a little bit more Big Brother than I'd like. I kind of trust the judicial process as it stands right now in terms of counting votes. I'm not too concerned with voter fraud, but I know, there's obviously some counts of it happening. Is this being backed?
Now, of course, we're talking about Travis County. However, we just heard in that Harris County did have some issues at their polls today. We'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, live in East Austin, Dylan Scott, Spectrum News 1 Texas.
Stand by.
Voters have also had to deal with new ID requirements and mail-in ballot issues. We want to go now back to Brett, standing by with our analyst to see the impact that may have had. Brett, voter turnout is typically low in primaries, but voters across Texas had to deal with new issues this time around because of the more restrictive voting laws that are in place.
Right, but the voters who do turn out for the primary are very, very deliberate, they're very dedicated, and they can make a big difference.
They are making a big difference already tonight, yeah.
I think we turn immediately now to our analysts who are, again, busy on their phones. Now, they are checking, you guys are checking county by county.
County by county.
And there's a big story developing here.